When I ask the question, what's the worst role in a social deduction game, you might have a couple things that come to mind at first. You might be even thinking of Town of Salem 2 Baker or Dreamweaver.
No, unacceptable.
You can make a case for all of those, but clearly it's these. Neutral killers. Right? Right?
Fuck you! You fucking dick!
Kingmaking has been an issue in social deduction games since the dawn of time. When there is one person and two more people who are on different factions, the first player now has to decide whether person A or person B deserves the win. When it comes down to Jester, on the other hand, Jester doesn't care. It doesn't need to win the game by being the last one alive. It just needs to be voted out. So the Jester is now just going to hold both people hostage and force them to vote, especially the person who can kill, because if they don't, then the Jester's just going to vote them either way, even if it means they lose. Neutral evils, I think, are a good thing. They allow people to make creative role designs that allow for a lot of interaction with a lot of other roles. When it comes to neutral evils, one of the more balanced ones is the current Town of Salem Executioner. Its only goal is to have its target voted out. If it wins, it punishes Town by taking away their trials. This punishes Town for incorrectly hanging one of their own members. But with Jester doesn't care. Jester just wants to be voted out, and it will do anything in its power to get voted out. Jester has been pretty much in every single social deduction game ever released. Starting in StarCraft II Mafia, Jester was created just to stop Town from randomly hanging people, because if they hung the Jester would just win on the spot. There was no haunting, there was no punishment, you lost. More Mafia-style social deduction games have moved away from the instant winning Jester to a more Town of Salem Jester, where the Town of Salem Jester has to get voted out, and what it is, it basically gets to do one thing. However, the Jester's evil, and the Jester will help the evils if it's not voted out. But if you do vote the Jester out, there goes your mayor. That is the exact reason why Town of Salem Jester doesn't work. If Town correctly hangs an evil, the evil will just then kill another Town. Town gets punished for properly playing the game. At least we don't have old Executioner, though.
But I think the most important part of this change is Town will no longer get punished for playing it right. For example,
game, so I'll play through.
The issue with Jester is that you cannot just remove it because it's a core identity of the game. The game has had Jester for however long it's been out, 10 years at this point, 11 years. This game has had Jester since the very start. You cannot get rid of the role. Jester, though, is fundamentally broken. You cannot have an evil role that punishes Town for correctly hanging it. And that's the issue. Jester was created for that exact reason. How do you balance a role that is meant to be voted out without punishing people for voting it out? And you can't really rework the role into something that is completely different, because Jester is just... it's the role that the game is known for. There's nothing else in the game that's known as well as Jester. Aside for that one fucking image of the amnesiacs all remembering another amnesiac. Thank God I forgot. As well, with a casual player, casual players love Jester, because Jester just requires absolutely zero skill whatsoever. You don't even have to bother fake claim, you don't even have to try, you can just fucking claim seer, call two people enemies, and then get hung day 3 because you have incorrect information. It's just so easy. It requires absolutely zero skill, zero input. You just say 2 numbers, claim seer, and you're done. The issue is that you can't alienate casual players by making it so that every single part of the game is centered toward competitive players. That won't work. You can't balance every single individual role in this game. It's never going to work. It will never work. It's just impossible. The game has too many roles, too many interactions. The game will never be perfect. We have to deal with that.